Hello and welcome to round one of the Slip and Grip GT3 Championship. Apologies for the slight delayed start there, but we're on to view a packed grid. Currently 33 drivers in the server, and I've got some excessively loud music that I need to fade down. So, thank you to Andy for getting the stream going there. You join us with 8 minutes of qualifying left. A number of new names up and down the field, some joining as late as half an hour before the closure time this evening. So we'll see how much practice has been done and where the drivers find themselves after the qualifying session. If you are in the chat, let me know. Apologies for the broken commentary so far. I am just trying to establish how everything works. I wasn't meant to be streaming, but here we are. Music still playing. Yeah, I know, Josh. I was building the atmosphere. So I've now got the chat open as well, so I can see you guys in the chat. I know we're up to 6 at the moment. Right then, so Matty Zenko, that's a familiar name. And he's currently at the top of the times by half a second as Nat Shirley in the Aston Martin chucks in a 1:44 dead. So Matty, the first driver to break into the 43s so far this session. If you could just let me know that you can hear me alright. If I'm too loud, too quiet, that would be fantastic. We'll fade the last bit of that music out because we'll end up with an advert for Heinz baked beans if we're not careful. So Nat powers on to do another lap. Little bit of traffic there. A Porsche running wide. We'll just assume he was getting out of the way. Carl Wright out the final turn in the Lamborghini. Autumn League, naming that skin. I'm in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, says Josh. His reason for not racing. Chris Rock just confirming he's on a boat. 6 weeks to go. Good to have you back. You can catch the end of the season. Can cause some havoc right at the end. Lewis Robson back in the pits, a new name. Simtech Racing, the 336 McLaren. 0.8 away. Closely followed by Michael. Michael, I won't butcher your surname. In the AF Corsa car, the Ray-Ban sponsorship on the side, a real world livery there. 10 viewers now, thank you for joining us. I'm not going to comment too much on track limits. If you've been watching the Formula 1, you'll be sick of track limit discussions by now. Yeah, levels seem decent, I'm good. Apologies if it's a little echoey, I've still not decorated. It is echoey in here. So Jan Buscher back again, joined us for the first time last season. Inception, says Matty in the chat. It's all good when the 10 viewers we've got, half of them are on the grid. Matt Jordan, a new name there, currently in 7th. White Rose Racing, number 22. Currently registered as an AM, and out of what is now 33 cars, he is 7th, so not looking too am there. We'll get the field balanced and make sure everyone's in the right categories a little later into the series. Matt Davies, an arrive and drive, I believe, this evening. Joined as I did, preparing for the stream. So, yeah, not too far off. He's putting in some good times already. A 44.6 being his best. That was on the last lap. Looks like he's continuing round, so letting the tyres cool off slightly, and rather than completing a fresh out lap. Horvath, apologies if I butchered your name. Top 10 at the moment, registered as a pro. Revolution Sim Racing. Another meaning for RSR there. Diego Matos in the McLaren. He's currently 0.1 up, looking like the only person in the top 10 currently improving. Ant Brown, sorry, currently in 7th. Looks like he's getting quicker as well. As if Zenko's in the chat, sat in the pits. You know, he's that comfortable. As Diego monsters the curb, I think the improvement in the time has been lost. Dave Rose in a Hooters livery, there you go. Put a smile on my face. Another running the Ferrari. We've seen a few of them up and down the field. Scott Savage returning in the Looney Tunes livery. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Alex McGee, Century Motorsport, another real world livery there. Has improved. Diego does improve. Who was before that? 71. Harrison Fulton. Good to see Harrison back on the field. Oh God, Craig's clearly made his livery. Joe Challoner there in the Aston Martin. None of the V12s on the grid. I think it's just the V8s, but the Golf livery always a favourite. Tom Lyons in-game livery. Ashworton back again. Currently 20th, representing Slip and Grip by the name of his livery, but allergic to stickers. Craig Fulton in the other of the Fulton Motorsport Ferraris, parked up currently 21st on the grid. I think we've lost one car so far, because we're down to 32. See what's going on at the top. Zenko has decided to drive. Yeah, absolutely right, Dave. Good mixture of cars, to be fair, not a sea of McLarens. Andy in the chat, Ash is in the official livery apparently. Oh. Hopefully not a sign of things to come. Matty, what are you doing? Matt Jordan. Oh, I was about to say he's 0.6 up. It's because he's not on the circuit. Matt Davies. Hoping to find a little more time. 0.1 will see him clear of Matt Jordan. Apologies if I start calling Matt Jordan Matty J. It's a habit, yeah. So Matt Davies does indeed jump up. 7th place is his as the timer has ticked to 0. My apologies, I didn't notice that. Nat Shirley's currently got 0.3 of a second, so can he steal second place. If he's not done track limits, he's 0.5 up. This could be really close. Oh, it looked like the car pushed on slightly there. A little bit of understeer maybe at the time on the clock representative of that. So maybe just a little hot into the right-hander there. Car stopped, causing a yellow flag just in the background, but we'll be okay to finish this lap. It's not going to be the monumental improvement we thought it was going to be, but out of the final turn, Shirley stays third. So losing a little time in that last sector. Who else is still out there? Is anyone improving? We'll take that as a no. Yes, I did click the top link on YouTube for some royalty-free music so that it doesn't get taken down. There we go then, 5 minutes now, a brief intermission, 15 of you now viewing. Thank you for joining us this first of two 40-minute races this evening. Qualifying session complete. The category's a little jumbled. We've got some pros further down the field, some silvers as high as 8th, and a novice, a rookie, within the top 10. Let me know in the chat then, who are we rooting for? Are there any supporters in the chat, or are you just here for a general observation? It's a colourful grid this evening. The drivers have made quite a lot of effort with the cars. You see the cars bobbling about, dropping down off of the imaginary air jacks. David Plummer in the chat, Pete Williamson. Where is... Here's to see if Zenko can go 40 minutes without bidding it. Well, we did see him out of turn 1 when he came out of the pit. Pete Williamson, there he is. There's his spoiler. Would quite like to see the outside of his car. The 32 BMW. I'm just clicking buttons now. I think the only one I didn't click there was helmet. Probably the best description of my efforts of trying to find the off-board camera. He forgot to fuel his pit stops last night at Spa. Great! That's a good start. Josh Copeland, because my stream is potato quality, I can't actually see who is where. Okay, Matt is on pole. Then Michael Dubeck. I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. Nat Shirley 3rd, Ant Brown 4th, Kyle Wright 5th, Lewis Robinson 6th, Matt Davies 7th, Jan Booker 8th, Matt Jordan, not Johnston, 9th, and Joe Challoner rounds out your top 10. Alex McGee is 17th. Yes, he's starting with Harrison Fulton. Is McGee in the Jag? I don't think so. No, he was in the M4, the Century Motorsport M4 that we spoke of earlier. That one there. Was it F7 for free cam? Oh my god, it was. How? Oh, there we go. Right, a minute left on the clock. I will prat around some more with the flying camera. Apologies for the motion sickness. So just a brief run down the grid for you there. Oh, whoever's car I was on, Alex has just dropped it off the jacks, because that's why the camera's doing that. Apologies. Red Bull. Who is that? Red Balls. Mac. Yeah, wobbly cam, sorry. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to float along. Right then, very shortly, or apparently now, we will lead the cars away from the grid. What is this music? It's dramatic. Needs a royalty free better. Right, so there we go then. On the outlap, there are no mandatory stops, and yeah, wheel mouse down. Camera that's not fixed to the car. That's cool. We did what we need to do, but thank you. I might have a go at the start of the next one. Right. Let's see if we can have a nice, clean start to the season. Be nice, wouldn't it? Right, where's that helicam? There we go. Is there a Jag? Where was the Jag? Nicholas Myers, treble 9, Jaguar, silk cut. It wasn't in the folder, that's a shame. We'll make sure it's in there for next week, because if that, yeah, with the proper silk cut livery, that would look absolutely fantastic. Where should we focus then? Ant Brown managed to get himself... Oh, how did he end up third? Quite that, I'm sure that's where he started, wasn't it? Might be. I'm out of the swing of things, not had to do one of these in a long time, so doing my best. Hopefully the quality's alright. Don't think we've dropped any frames. 60 FPS sitting alright. Okay, just need to make our way through the last sector. Don't know why the medical helicopter's there. Josh isn't racing this evening. And so yeah, the car's there, instructed to line up 2 by 2. Eventually. There we go, the Ferrari makes itself what will be the outside of the final turn. Okay, looking a little out of position. The staggering on these cars isn't quite what we'd expect. The Ferrari a long way back. No one pinged for an out of position start, so it looks like it's going to be relatively clean. The two Lamborghinis, Ant Brown and Carl Wright, getting very close. There's a late breaker in the form of a Mercedes looking to ping-pong its way around the outside. That is Matt Davies, forced wide by the Ferrari that was out of position at the start. 3 wide further back. There's even more carnage further back, but eyes are forward. Nat Shirley in the Aston Martin done really well there. He's brought himself forward. The pack further back strings its way out as they bring their way through. There's contact in the background. That's one of the Fulton Motorsport cars turned round. That's Harrison static. There's a pile up further back. More damage being taken to one of the Beamers trying to get through. Harrison gets going again. There are more cars behind him. A car's further up the field. Tom Lyons involved in that incident. Also Nick Myers. Let's hop back towards the front. It is Matty Zenko still leading them away, but Nat Shirley's keeping him honest through the middle sector. These two managing to break away together so far. Sorry, non-coms Tom watching on the telly. I apologise to your child for having to listen to me. Also, hi Amy. Sorry you're having to listen to me in your living room. Zenko through the penultimate turn. It's now Nat Shirley's turn to be under pressure, and Brown stronger in the second half of the lap, getting up to temp, getting things moving. Top 3 then breaking away. Matt Davies strong early on, did get shuffled out after braking really late. He was lucky not to collect anyone in turn 1. Let's see, any moves? No, he's found his braking point, and he doesn't mingle with the Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini now coming in against Michael. Shows his nose to the inside, but Kyle thinks better of it. The Ferrari's not looking too settled. We had that out of position start, but I think it was far enough backwards. There's only one winner in the chat. Asmat Kasanov. No, he's 31st. It's looking unlikely. So Zenko still out front. Nat Shirley, then Ant Brown. Those gaps have strung out slightly. Michael has held on after Carl looked racy earlier on, but not in a position to attack at the moment. Then we're back to Matt Davies, Jan Booker, Lewis Robinson. Borath is 9th, and he's got Matt Jordan relatively close. It has to be said, he's not going to miss him in the mirror. That high-vis car. Not sure if it's yellow or green, because I'm a little bit colourblind, but I think it's yellow. Scott Savage then tucked up behind. Let's jump out the helicopter. There we go then, the number 22 car. Doesn't look like it's close enough to attack at this stage. So the back, Alex McGee tucked right up behind Ross Parker. That is close enough to attack. They're side by side down into the braking zone. Alex shows his nose to the inside. Ross knows in plenty of time that he's there. Sweeps across, unwinds the steering. We have lost one car to a yellow flag, and it looks like it disappeared. So yeah, another car back to the pits. That is a shame. Giovanni back to the pits along with Sam Waldridge. So Ross able to scamper away. Alex 1.6 down on his Delta, and Ash Wotton was about to get prosecuted. Treble 7 will win. Oh, Treble 7 makes an overtake. SMP Racing Esports. There it is, down in 29th. Made it into the top 20. He's in the 20s now. 28th after another damaged car by the side of the road. So Josh Redhead there. I believe that was... Oh no, he was already out. Sam Waldridge in the pits. Fabrizio Giovanni back out onto circuit. That was the number 8 go then. Zenko leads them across the line. That's 3 laps completed. Lots of personal bests coming in. Optimum track 30 degrees and an accident for car 87. So contact made there. Let's just go back. That's Harrison Fulton. Maybe Craig could have painted a target on the side of that car. I mean, Harrison may have invited him in there. That might be one for the stewards. At least it wasn't the largest of impacts. We bump and run. There is Zenko. We're still in that replay. There is Zenko. So pressure on. Nat Shirley's done the fastest lap. They scamper their way through the chicane. Both of them bouncing away over there as the 722 car and the 52 car come together. Tom Lyons and Gwydon Moraski have come together further down the field, but we'll stay with the leader at the moment, Nat Shirley. Let's ride on board. There he is. So going after Zenko, Sam Waldridge. I'm out, didn't get to Sector 3, that's unfortunate. We did see some incidents throughout that first lap. It's a large grid, I know it's the first race of the season, but that is a shame, Sam. Hopefully you're back for race 2. So these two battling slightly. That will let Anne Brown close in, but these two breaking free at the moment. 1.3 ahead of Anne Brown. The Aston Martin getting a good run down the straight there, braking slightly later than the Audi R8. More personal best lap times comes cascading in as the field flies down the start-finish straight. Once again, a look to the inside for Nat, more trying to put Matty Zenko off. Good tight line held, progressive onto the power. Out quite wide, I'm not quite sure how strict that is on track limits. We'll see if they build up across the remaining 32 minutes of this session. We are barely 8 minutes in. Double jab of the brake there. Matty trying to get the nose in with a bit of left foot braking, or the whole lot is left foot braking, but trying to tuck the nose in. Bounced wide on the curb. We saw it last lap, but the cars did look quite unsettled through the chicane. Now, kick of oversteer as well. The Aston Martin really fighting that here. More in the comments for the 777. Some compliments on his driving, I think. Wide again for Nat, so maybe these tyres going through a phase where he's absolutely cooked them trying to get on to terms with Matty. Aston Martin looking like an absolute handful for Nat Shirley as we progress into the race. I think people must be running quite wide because Scott Savage was 1.2 up on his delta there, but he wouldn't be running in 11th if he was 1.2 off his delta every lap. So I think he might have been running wide. I think a lot of drivers might have been running wide, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some penalties. There it was. Tiago Matos that we lost. Just tried to click his name because he was down on his delta, but that was at the point that he quit. Ross Parker 13th currently, so second in the AMS at the moment. Nice little bit of space for him there, so no immediate threat. Red balls, that's brilliant. Alex McGee 15th, Ashwotton for company. Gabriele Di Carlo, another new name to the series. Another car needing the body shop before the next race. A little bit damage on the front of that R8. Craig Fulton keeping himself out of trouble. That's a lie. Look at the front of that car. He has been in trouble. YouTube logo on the side of the car there. I don't know if Craig is streaming this evening. Might be worth a little look. Not now. Later. Stay with us. Peter Williamson. I know some people in the chat were following on for Peter. So currently 19th. Art 999 has been in an accident. Oh dear. 999 looks like he's still in an accident. He is currently fighting with the 777. The 777 making its way up to 25th from 30th when we first stopped in. Car 71, Harrison Fulton, not facing the right way. Let's just jump back. So he's come out the final turn with Igor Jurovic. Good to see Igor back again. Igor choosing the middle line, then fades back to the left. Harrison looks like he's got a decent run, shows his nose to the inside. And it's a tap from the 87 that puts him round. 87 Ricardo Maciera turning round the Harrison Fulton Motorsport car. A Ferrari to the pits. I mean, Ferrari and strategy, not two things that you'd normally hear about together, so Michael having to make his way to the pit lane, hopefully not to retire the car. Potentially left it with quali fuel in. We've managed 7 laps, so that might be the case. That's a shame because he was running 6th before this stop occurred. So yeah, away we go. So unfortunate for Michael there. That's it, the icons are green, so it's a shame if he does think it's mandatory. Zenko still out front. Nat Shirley still wanted to take that position away. Bit of a gap back to Ant, and then an even bigger gap back to Matt Davies. It's then Carl Wright. Jan Booker, the first driver that's really under pressure, and he's got this train of cars right behind him. The back of that train is 11th place. Jan currently running 6th, so nice little battle forming between these 6 cars. Lewis with a good run there. Shows his nose to the inside, nothing happening there. Or nothing doing, as Crofty would say, but I hate when he says that, so let's just leave it with nothing happening there. Williamson is also tucked up behind Fulton, but we'll just stay with this battle for a moment. Jan sideways. Lewis having to check up slightly. Is anyone able to capitalise on that run? There we go then. The Audi R8 shows its nose to the inside. He could lose 2 places here if he's not careful. The McLaren down the inside. That's Matt Jordan. I've gone the wrong way. There we go then. The Ferrari of Jan runs deep. It's now Lewis who will be on the outside for the next corner. Can he get it done? Can he brake later and sweep around the outside? Yes, he can. Ferrari just struggling slightly. Jan compromised through the turn. Did well to only lose 1. It was lining up to lose a couple of places. Now, let's see if Lewis can in fact break away, or does a target for Jan help him? Good amount of curb taken. the slight over-rotation, but gives a nice wide sweep into the right-hander. However, the McLaren, more nimble on its toes through that section, does pull away slightly. That's a nice banner. Great camera angle. Let's see how the last turn goes on this particular lap. The Audi looking for the cutback. Looks like he's safe for this lap. There we go then. So Craig Fulton did look like he was in a bit of a battle, but I think it's calmed down. Where is... Peter's got past. Apologies, we missed it. Was it in the last 30 seconds? It was. Good, let's watch this. I know there's some Peter fans. Yes. Hi, Stefan. Oh, good move on the brakes. Craig has nowhere to turn in. There's that wonderful banner again. I don't know if that was a flash of the lights, but yes, it is indeed a good job so far by Matty Zenko. Oh, he's been under pressure. We're still in the replay. Let's see how this comes out the other side. Ah, well, he held the position. Didn't know how it happened. But those two battling is allowing Ant Brown to come back into play slightly. So let's just stick with them a moment. That camera, that's awful camera angle. Oh, in the background, Ant. Oh no! Ant Brown facing the wrong way. He's looking for a rejoin. Gets back up to speed. Don't take your teammate out. He's indicating left. Well, he certainly did move left out of that turn. Well, as Ant was starting to see his opportunity, he's now got an opportunity to improve because he's down in 5th. Carl Wright making his way past, so he's only lost one place to his teammate there, the other to Matt Davies. Oh, Ant. Oh, Ant indeed. Yeah, it was heating up nicely. Those tyres will be cooked, so hopefully he can get back up to pace. Oh, that would have been a pun, wouldn't it? The only thing heating up nicely was his tyres. Ah, accident. Car 86 involved. And 86. That's the top two. What? Oh, we'll stay here for a minute because they've. I was looking. I know I shouldn't, but when it said there was an accident between two cars, I immediately scrolled to the bottom of the list to look for the numbers. Rightly or wrongly, that's why I couldn't find them. So the top two even registering as incidents. It looks like Jan has been in an incident as well. Some contact with the 24 car. Jan drops down. Scott Savage and Dave Rose have made their way past. Oh, the Red Bulls car is not on the racing line. Alex McGee trying to make his way through. So with 16 seconds until the halfway point, accident car 69 Jurovic. Jurovic, and we just cut back to him there, having not done the chicane, ahead of Harrison Fulton. Looks like he comes together with Tom Lyon. So Harrison Fulton there, make his way down the inside. They go side by side. They touch. Tom's seen half an invite and sent it down the inside. That would have been a hell of a move there. Not sure there was too much of an overlap, so yes, we just caught this. Jovic and Tom crawling their way off of the grass. Where did Tom end up? That is Tom just behind. Hopefully not doing that again. Just check back in with your leader, very much as we left it. They are doing 44.7s and 44.6s, so for context, best lap is a 44 dead, so they are well within a second of the fastest lap. So nice consistency from these two so far. Matt Davies keeping his nose clean for third. And Brown got back ahead of his teammate Carl Wright, so he's attempting to go chasing the position that he dropped. Lewis again with a nice bit of room. He can hold on for that 6th place, the first round of the season. So that's some welcome points if he can sustain the next 18 minutes. Scott Savage, Dave Rose, Ian Booker and Matt Jordan. Then a little bit of pressure, Imrie versus Ross Parker. Then in the background, Patrick Makagowski trying to sustain the pressure of Alex McGee. Massively sideways, they both look for a nice late apex, driving out towards the chicane. Let's have a quick comparison of these two through this section. Both relatively calm across those curbs, not the massive unsettled jumps we were seeing from some other cars. I think it's well within striking distance now. The McLaren looking a little more unsettled. Let's see how he gets on. Wide from the McLaren, the second time we've seen Patrick running wide out there. Unsettled the rhythm through this section, but Alex doesn't look like he's able to do anything with it. Straight line pace, no great advantage to the BMW. He shows his nose to the inside. Patrick doesn't turn in, allows space. Alex puts his car alongside. Now the McLaren's got the inside. Can Alex brake later, look for a cutback, switches to the inside. Now they are just upsetting each other's lines and they are letting the cars ahead get away. That's where we saw the McLaren unsettled last time as well. See that inside curb. Staying on the track this time, a little more composed. There's John Walker, not seen him much. Taking the BMW for a spin. Front and rear damage on that car. Harrison looking to recover, not too far behind. Tom Lyons there, we saw coming together with Igor earlier on. Managed to get the job done whilst we were looking away. Nick Myers, again, I want that livery. I want to see the silk cut livery on that car. Got a yellow flag. It's the number 5 car. So I'm not sure why Sasha is off the track there. Oh, 30 seconds ago parked up. Great, let's watch a 30-second... No, we'll find someone else. Just a quick run down then. There's your 777 car, the last of the guys running. Pit lane crew: Fabrizio, Ricardo, Joe Challoner, Josh Redhead has left. Gwydon Morawski, and Sam Waldridge are your pit lane crew. Zenko still sustaining the pressure at the front, but Nat Shirley staying within. Is that yellow flag still for the number 5 car? The number 5 car needs to go back to the pits. If anyone knows the number 5 car, send them a message. Sasha Byrne needs to go back to the pit lane. As I was saying, Mr. Zenko is still leading. Nat Shirley just dropping back a little bit. It's now 0.8. Sasha has gone to rejoin and spun the car 180. Matt Davies and Brown not been able to recover. Has closed the gap slightly to Matt. That's 1.9 now, so dipped under the 2-second mark. We will see if 13 minutes is enough to recoup that gap. He was 0.3 quicker on that last lap, so if that can be sustained, we might have a nice little battle. We will keep an eye on it. Yeah, very good going for very little practice as far as Matt D is concerned. That gap, 1.7 now. Let's just stay with Ant. Have a little on board if we may. Little flick of oversteer from the car ahead, you think. Matt may be a little more aggressive on the tyres. I know Ant has had a spin. I think that seat time in practice does allow you to just calm your driving and not be too harsh on the car. And carrying good apex speed, both taking a nice wide entry. Matt with a massively late apex and taking the shorter line, keeping the nose tucked in. Still a late apex, but travelling the shorter distance. Again, another late apex here, ready to fire it out towards the outside curb. And on the power, nice and early, well out wide over that curb. V10 noises, love it, says Andrew. You're absolutely right. Your leader is looking at getting past the back marker. Nat Shirley is through as well. No, he's not. Yes, he is. There's the 777, so the 777 taking the blue flags, getting well out of the way. As long as that wasn't going to be a switchback. I held my breath for a second there. So the 777, and then a couple of claims of the 777 going to win the race. Bets weren't quite on in the chat this evening there. The 777 going a lap down. So Matt Davies, how is the 777 car going to affect? A flash of the lights there from Matt. He's making his presence known as he smashes the second of the curbs. There we go then. The 777 moves aside for the 77, and Brown well out wide. So it was actually Ant that caught at the wrong point. John Walker in unfortunate position there between the two Fultons. John doing well to keep that car circulating. It has got heavy damage. Actually, Michael is doing massively well because he's running. This is Michael that took the pit stop. So Michael that took the pit stop has made his way back up to 18th so far. running in the 44s. Those around him are in the 46s and the 47s. So massively faster. Just needs to be making the passes count and ticking them off as quickly as he can, recovering towards the top 10. 9.5 minutes to go, so very keen to see how high Michael can climb back up the field. 44.7, that's faster than your leaders. Michael is currently the fastest car on circuit. Back down the front. There we go then, Ant Brown has caught up to Matt Davies. Matt with the headlights on. Zenko's got 2 cars to pass, there we go. So past the Jag they go. Nat Shirley through as well. So the field spread quite broad this evening, seeing your leaders now passing a 3rd car. Now then, let's see how Ant gets through the back markers this time. Matt's got to do it first. Yeah, Matt Davies cleanly through there. Seeming that the back markers, those that have fallen a lap down, are doing well to get out of the way this evening. So that's good to see. Ant with an over rotation there. That's just dropped him back from Matt. There we go. We knew we were going to see some. That's the first of the track limit penalties. So Matt Jordan in the high-vis McLaren must now complete a drive-through within the next 3 laps. So we'll drop him out of the top 10. So as our leading AM driver, that is a shame to see. Peter Williamson at the moment just holding off Michael Dubek. Apologies if I'm butchering that. So Michael did have the 1 lap pace, but was held up to a 46.9 on the last lap. The Ferrari just not able to find a way through at the moment. Can he set up a nice sweep, a good drive out of the final turn? A nice narrow exit there, that looks like a run is on. A good toe is given. No defence is put up. Can the Ferrari get it stopped down the inside? Certainly does. The BMW early on the power, no real switch back there, so not fighting that one too hard. Peter concedes the position and continues on 3rd in class. John Walker and Harrison Fulton came together on that last lap. That's logged. We won't worry about trying to see that. Matt Davies now under massive pressure. There it is. We knew the battle was going to come. So can Ant square it up as we expected out of the final turn? Wanders a little wider. Matt breaks the toe as early as possible, so Kyle will have a good view of this. He's just a little further back there. He is just further back up the straight. Matt electing not to defend. At the end of the straight, he broke the toe early on just to ensure Ant didn't get the run. Now then, twisty bits. Car's banging down the gears, the nose tighter through on the Lamborghini, and with a good run here. A little wider, so a longer route. And there's no particular run over that crest. It doesn't look it on the cameras, but those of you that will have driven it will know. Drive-through cleared for the 22. Your top two are really close together as well. Matt a little scruffy and with a bounce. Let's just check in. Your top two are nose to tail as well, so the battles are hardly over. We are coming towards the end of the race. Zenko 0.9 off his delta. Nat Shirley 1.1 off of his delta. The tyres are falling away. It's how we can then manage the cars through to the finish. And 1.3 off the delta. I believe the BOP is being run as the LFM servers, so these cars not how you'd expect them out the box in the base game. It has to be said, it is looking pretty good. Matt Davies still ahead of Ant Brown in the background. Ant turned in early. Nat showed his nose. It's worked. It scared. Sorry, not Ant. Did I say Ant? I didn't mean Ant. If I did, Matty Zenko turns in early. Oh no, they've come together. They end up going straight. Matty will have got into the ABS because he introduced some steer at angle in the braking phase. That pushed him deep. Flash lights from Nat. I'm saying, well, I've had a little bump there. Couple of laps to go. You got this one and likely one more. I don't think we've had the call for the final lap. In the background, Matty D still fends off Ant Brown. Nat just needs to regroup. He was really piling the pressure on to Matty Zenko there. Zenko feeling the pressure. He's made it this far. He really wants that first win. A good flick of a turn in. He got it onto that curb. Both comparable thus far in the final sector. Penultimate turn. A little flick of oversteer for Nat. God, Nat. It's a hybrid of Nat and Ant. Awful. Zenko seemingly through that last sector able to drive it away. So 0.8 is the gap as we head on to the final lap. Zenko holding off Shirley, Davies holding off Brown, and the rest of the field, well, it's all over the place. It's been an eventful one. We've got a number of drivers have quit. We've got a number of drivers sat in the pits. They will hopefully have hung around for the next race. Number 13 has had an issue. From memory, that's Challoner. 13's in the pits. Challoner is the... How has 13 had an accident? 13 is driving round. Several laps down. And has still had an accident. I don't know what's happened to Joe there. What? I looked away for a second! Zenko's come back at Nat. Let's just go 30 seconds back. So what's happened there? How did that happen? How far did Nat come back? Matt's let him through. What? But then he's come back at him. What? Is that yielding the position but then stealing it back? I don't really know. Tom Lyons with a drive-through. But he's in the pits at the moment in 22nd. But there you go, Matty Zenko sacrificing the lead, taking it back and winning the race. Nat Shirley in second. Matt Davies holds on an onslaught from Ant Brown to get fourth. Teammate Carl Wright through for fifth. Lewis Robinson in sixth. Scott Savage seventh. Dave Rose out the final turn takes eighth. Imre Horath in ninth. Jan Booker rounds out the top 10. Ross Parker, the top of the AMS, in 11th. Patrick in the Red Bulls McLaren. Alex McGee for 13th, but I think someone's quit. Matt Jordan for 14th. Ash Wotton out of the final turn holds on ahead of Peter Williamson. I think. Maybe. Yes. Yes. It's then Michael 17th recovering in the Ferrari after his not mandatory pit stop. Craig Fulton with the drive-through, so he's going to drop down the list. That's a 30-second penalty. Gabriele De Carlo out the final turn will jump ahead of Craig, as will Harrison Fulton and John Walker. Tom Lyons is parked in the pits. Nick Myers is in the pits. Kazanov in the pits. Struvic in the pits. Sasha Byrne outside of turn one. Fabrizio Giovanni, I want to say Giovinazzi because of the touring car driver. Joe Challoner, if he had done another lap he could have had another place. Ricardo, Josh Redhead left, and Gwydon Moraski. So I think... Oh, and Sam Aldridge. Hi, Sam. I think we have 31 cars still in the server. Not bad. Yeah, I don't know what Zenko did. The bad exit before the chicane looked like he lifted. There's bad exits and then there's just turning the... I don't know, it's moved to the inside and everything. It was a strange one. I won't drag him into the chat because he's got a mildly offensive entry tone on Discord. So if he joins, we get banned. There we go. Oh, we lost Scott Lawson. That's an awful shame. Tell you what, have a intermission. Does intermission have desktop audio? Oh no. Yes, it does. Cool. I'll be back in a minute. We've got 5 minutes. Make a cup of tea. Goes to a YouTube advert, I'm sorry, you don't have to buy the baked beans. You all still there? Right then, we're back. So, 2 minutes left on the timer, and Zenko hoping to lead them away. But will the threat of the Ferrari of Michael come to anything this race? Hopefully, as you see the Ferrari up on the jacks, he's got enough fuel for this one. So track 25 degrees, the ambient 20. The time has progressed. We are 5 PM in-game time. A number of the cars just dropping down off the jacks. The forecast for the next half hour is maintained the same. So some continuity for the guys looking to learn from the last race. Let's have a quick check. Let's reset the old broadcasting. Let's reconnect my streaming app or my control app so that I don't have dead cars up and down the field. Great, it is not connecting at all. Ah. Please hold. I've broken it, I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Right. We are reconnected. That's the wrong button. There you go. There we are. Oh, everything's reset. Right then. Zenko leads them away. We now have 31 drivers, so we've kept it above 30, which is always nice to see. In the chat there, race time, you're absolutely right. Now that I've fixed my broadcasting client, I can actually see who is where, who's doing what. And Brown to the pit lane, he has not made the start for whatever reason. So we saw him battling for the podium positions in the last one. Well, if he manages, you know, FML in the chat and Brown, were you too busy doing something else? Found something better to do? There you go, there's the broadcasting overlay. Stuck on the pit screen. Well, hopefully you are able to get going. Last to first challenge, maybe? So, and we'll start 31st from the pit lane. Let's monitor his progress. So, Zenko with a new foe to fend off at the front. Michael taking a pit stop last race, which put him on the back foot. Nat Shirley will be looking to progress early on. I think we're going for a good top 3 battle. It would have been a top 4 if Ant hadn't of, I don't know. He's blaming his computer, but let's see. Carl Wright starting 4th. Wasn't quite on the pace of the front runners in the previous race. Could he have learned anything from what Ant was doing? Scott Savage, that's the new Rallycross Mercedes. road runner, more like gravel runner. A little issue there. At least he wasn't being interviewed. One of our earlier members, founding members, someone that can't bother to race anymore. Jamie was once interviewed on his outlap and stacked it into the walls. So no damage done for Scott. He's got the dirt off the tyres. Hopefully they're warm enough. The pack a little split. I don't really understand why Kyle has ended up so many car lengths back. We've got two fields. I think ACC is doing ACC things. The front driver's almost having to come to a stop as the game sorts itself out. Maybe it's because Ant isn't there. It doesn't quite understand what's going on. Michael there back in his grid slot once again. The game not really liking where Michael's starting. So it's Matty Zenko fairly unchallenged away at the front, with Nat Shirley now down the inside of Michael and pulling clear. Carl Wright's going to be the next to see if he can make some moves. Lewis Robson in the McLaren. Where's Matt? Oh, Matt Davies in the background there. Yeah, he's been absolutely mugged. Looks like he started 6th. He's already running down in 11th. As the field all snake their way through the left-hander. Now is when they will concertina and thin down into one. The Red Bull's car in the background running wide. We've got a couple of cars slapping the barrier in the background. 122 definitely involved in that skirmish as well. Sparker still managing to hold on. The 777 over rotates. He was highlighted by the chat as a winner. He's definitely found a barrier. So Zenko holds on out front. The table sorts itself out. Sorry, Ant is missing. Yeah. Oh, Ant is missing. Ant Brown. Ant Brown is recovering. We've still got jazzy music. It's the Ant Brown recovery music. Where was this hype before the race? Ant to the inside now. Snakes his way through, makes up another position. Ash Wooten, his latest victim, as he now goes after Ross Parker. Okay, I'll bin the music off, apologies. Yeah, but the great... Show us 777. The greatest racer. He's already been in the wall. There is 777. Back at the front, Matty Zenko leads the field on to the second lap. He's in and out of the hairpin. Under the bridge they go. So it is Matt Zenko from Nat Shirley. There's the two. We saw him fighting earlier on. Michael with his lacking grid start position. That's twice we've seen him start further back. Hopefully we don't see Michael in the pits this time. Carl Wright's going after him, looking to do it for the S&G Autumn League livery, the Ajax Racing. Ant Brown's teammate as Michael runs wide. The pressure's certainly on in these early stages. The field well bunched early on. There is Kyle. Matt Jordan in the high-vis car. Let's see how they snake their way through. Joe Challoner this time not in the pit lane. He's on the race circuit. That's good to see. Scott Savage certainly putting the pressure on Matt Davies. Not quite sure what happened to Matt at the start of the race. It looked like he got a little mugged off the line. Let's just check in with Ant Brown. As he pulls another move on Ross Parker, now shows his nose to the inside, brakes later. Ross electing to not turn in. He knows that Ant is on an absolute charge. Yeah, so Ross Parker there losing another place. Losing one place. I'm sure he started higher than that. He was higher in that class, but yeah, Ant Brown trying to make his way through. There's a Fulton. Fulton versus Walker. Here we go then. Craig with a defensive line down into the braking zone. John Walker. Can he eye up a cutback there? Not particularly. That defensive line from Craig, not really hampering him through the first turn. Yeah, this pack's starting to bunch back. Craig not able to keep up with Alex McGee. He's 3.1 to the good as they come through this next split. Alex is now 4 seconds up the road to Craig and its defensive lines, as we see a massively sideways Porsche. Ricardo in the background there, so absolutely going for it. Scott Savage kicking up some dust, but it's Patrick just behind. Oh, Matt Davies. There still looks like a little battle. They're nearly 2x2. They are 2x2. Matt Davies round the outside there. What a move. Let's just go back 10 seconds. Go chase cam. I know it's not realistic, but Matt positioning the car to the outside sweeps the long way round. He's now behind his good mate Joe Challoner. There's some trees. So Joe Challoner now with Matt Davies for company. Matt Davies all over his rear view mirror, all over his rear wing. Let's see on the lap time. So that last lap time there for Joe, 46 dead, 45.4 with an overtake for Matt behind. Tree cam indeed, Dave. Tree cam indeed. A little battle here forming up. Craig still got John for company looking at the times. Accident, 89. 89's Ross Parker. Oh. 89 and 45 came together. And Brown is back behind Ross. 30 seconds. Oh, Ant's had a moment, hasn't he? Ant's had a moment out of turn 1. How is Sam doing? Can find out. So Ant's now got all that work to do again to get back past Ross. He switches to the inside, he brakes later, shows his nose. Nope. Sam Waldridge currently 28th. He does show in my log of cars that have had... Oh! 26th! He's improving, he's climbing, but he does show as having had some contact. So that is a shame for Sam. Yeah, quite far down in the silvers. Currently last in the silvers. Igor Jurovic has left the server. Yes, RF indeed. In the background, Sasha just leaving the road there. Nick Myers not too far behind in the Jaguar. There's Zenko at the front. Nat Shirley in second place, as we expected. We're heading 8 minutes into this race. Michael holding on for third. Oh no, 77 has had an accident. Not sure with who, but he's made his way up past Joe Challoner, and Horvath has made it through as well. So Matt under pressure now from the Audi R8 driver. This looks to be some of the closest battling. Chris Rock, I'll be back next week and we'll take the silver top spots. Wow. Bold claims, bold claims. bunch all holding on reasonably well together. Harrison Fulton, clean looking car this race, managed to keep himself out of trouble thus far. Alex McGee on the other hand, scrapes up front bumper, so yeah, with more on the grid, yeah, we might even head towards 40. Yeah, it's the number of people registered is really good. We'll just boot a few people off when they don't show up. There's Peter Williamson. I know a few people were rooting for him in the chat. Ross Parker. What's happened to Ant? Why? Ant has dropped further back. His last lap was a 54. For comparison, others around him are on 47s. So, yeah, lost 7 seconds on that last lap. Right, let's check in with the train further up here. Oh, further back. Red Bulls to the outside of Hooters. That sounds like a recipe made for disaster. And Hooters conceding to Red Bulls there. Another routing for 777. Yep. Let's just check in. Oh, 777 making a move, looking to the inside. Not quite into the chicane. Oh, on the curb, on the grass. Not quite able to make a move that time. There we go, we might look to the inside on the hairpin. We do look to the inside. The McLaren cowering in fear, moving aside for the Lexus. He's so good in this race. 25th so far. Not quite the win, but plenty of support, and that's what matters. 777, it's Michael Crease. Oh my god, we've got our own Michael Crease, a fan favourite. Zenko out front now, still leading the way, broken that 1 second mark. His delta coming down, so the car coming to and the track temperature coming down, that might aid him slightly. Nat Shirley there also 0.4 improvement on his delta. These guys all running low 44, so the lower temperatures definitely helping these guys out. This bloody banner. Then there's Carl Wright, Lewis Robinson. Get him in a Cupra, mate. He'll be all over the side of Jade Edwards' car. Jan Booker. Oh, we've got a yellow. The yellow is the 50 car. Oh, rejoining. Let's go back 30 just to make sure we see everything. So Red Bulls and Hooters going at it in front of us. Once again, we've got Alex McGee for company. Oh no, is he going to trip over the Hooters or the Red Bulls? Braking slightly later. Oh, he's just got Red Bulls. Red Bulls, and then Alex has just nudged him to the side. I think John Walker has had an issue as well, recovering there, giving the place back. There's John Walker. I don't know where he's been involved in a bump, but he's on my list. I thought I was about to see Tom Daly of the Porsche world there. Not quite. Oh, very lucky to get round the outside of John there, sweeping round. That was Ross Parker. Of course, where you find a John, you do indeed find a Ross. Patrick takes his balls back to the pits. Both Zenko and Nat did 43.8 on the last lap. So these two finding a bit of pace. Matty not quite carrying it onto this lap, 0.2 down. Nat, however, 0.1 improvement. So Nat, at this stage of the race, closing in. half a second on that lap. Number of PBs filing in so far, that's good. Matt Davies managed to work his way back to 8th thus far, 44.6, so currently faster than those ahead of him. And faster than those behind him, just. Joe Challoner dropping back slightly. This was a stage of the race that he didn't quite make it to on the last, so uncharted territory for the Aston Martin driver on these tyres. Scott Savage keeping Joe honest there in the Looney Tunes Mercedes. Dave Rose, free of his battles, now able to concentrate on his 0.4 up on his lap time. Harrison Fulton had an issue. He's now facing the wrong way. Quickly, let's see. Oh, inside curb. Scandi flick. Wrong way. Turns the car. Still facing the wrong way, but does indeed wait for the traffic. So, bumper the barrier, and we are back underway. 19 seconds lost there for Harrison. So that is a large chunk of positions, but good to see he is indeed still running. Ross now running away slightly from John Walker. He's now pressuring Gabriele De Carlo. Ross Parker showing 1.3 down, and he was the last car to have an accident on my list. So something happening on that lap for Ross. These two are second down. I think that would have in fact dropped them behind Craig Fulton, because they are hammering up towards the back of Craig Fulton. The Audi driver to the inside. Craig looks to make use of the outside line, able to get earlier on the throttle, but cannot. Is he going to lose the place to Ross Parker as well? Ross will be on the outside. Craig will brake later. Shies away from the apex. A little later turning means Ross has a nibble of the rear bumper. A wiggle there from Ross, but got away with it. Sorry, a wiggle from Craig. And that does allow John Walker just to come back at them slightly. So the BMW driver not quite there on raw pace, but given the skirmishes in front of him, Ross a massive over-rotation and some real black marks left as he makes his way out of the chicane. John with a cleaner run out there. Let's see what pressure John Walker can put on. Ross out wide. Will penalties take... Oh, Craig's got a penalty. So Craig must have been out wide yet again. Looks like he's made a dive though, further forwards. So Craig is up and back past the Audi, but he's going to have to go into the pits to serve a drive-through or lose 30 seconds at the end of the race. Nat Shirley, 4 seconds down on his Delta, has fallen back. Let's 30-second replay it. So Nat Shirley had a look at Matty Zenko down into turn 1. Matty's turned in. Nat's over-rotated. It's one for the stewards. Zenko's driven off. And that is what cost the 4 seconds to Nat and allowed Michael up and through. The 999 car, having made contact with the 722 car that is just ahead, so the Jaguar surrounded by the McLarens, but again Half a second, 0.3. It's all close battles up and down the grid with slip and grip sim racing. Oh, the McLaren off onto the grass, elects to go onto the runoff. They're now both squabbling over the runoff. They're going to be side by side. I'm glad they sorted that out, because that could have been a monumental crash if they'd both gone for that racing line. So yeah, McLaren racing, McLaren over rotating, McLaren crashing. So Zedco leading the way. That contact not yet referred to the stewards. I think Nat's probably got one hand on a keyboard just typing it out as we speak. Nat McLean keen to get that back. Nat often racing with us. Challoner with a penalty. So Challoner has found track limits. One too many. Well, that'll be it. That'll do it, Joe. As he pings a signage board off into the middle of the circuit. Scott Savage there, ready to pick up a place. Craig Fulton then will likely be into the pits rather soon. I feel like we called that a number of laps ago. That bloody barrier. Let's see then. Ross Parker getting released, and that'll allow... Oh, Ant Brown. Oh, yeah, there goes Craig as expected. So Ross Parker now under pressure from Ant Brown. Ant Brown with a run down into turn one. He shows his nose early on. Ross Parker knows what's coming. Doesn't panic, doesn't run too wide. Calm and collected into the braking zone, but Ant shortening the run out. Can he get him down into... No, he can't. No, he's dropped back out of there. That's he's doing well, but he's just not quite able to make that move just yet. Ross Parker soaking up the pressure. Ooh, Ant, he's got the speed, but Ross isn't slow enough for Ant to just storm past. The pressure's certainly on. Gabriele Di Carlo in the Audi just there. I think Ross just followed him across the curb, so... Dave Wood, wish this wasn't on a Sunday night when I'm at work. Yeah, oh, Ross out wide. Track limits is going to come into play. Oh, it's Ant to the inside, isn't it? Wrong car. Where is it? Ant's through. Ant is through. So Ross just running wide there, allowing Ant through. A sideways Audi. Ant's got to pick a side. And if he doesn't pick a side quickly, Ross will jump. Remember to shout out the Patreons at the end. I keep forgetting to do it, but appreciate the support. Yeah, Patreons. We have Patreons, and they are fantastic. They get a load of perks, and they support us. Ant Brown, driver of the day. Wow. Bold. Is that because he's got a theme song? Ross Parker coming back at voted by one person driver of the day. Ross is having a good old go. Ant's now driving in his mirrors. Can Ross try and come back at him? It's this section where Ant is particularly fast. You watch him just lob it through there. The car pretty neutral. Yeah, Ross out wide and just a little more composed. Now, where's the gap going to open up? How much did Ant pay you to nominate him as driver of the day? From the back to 14th is particularly good, don't get me wrong, but we have got a number of close battles. Ant to the inside. The inside's going to become the outside, however. The Audi runs wide. It's the old switcheroo. And through goes Brown. Oh, the Audi doesn't turn into him. Yep, there's the contact. Ross Parker picking up the pieces. And oh no, he sweeps across the front of Ant. Ant has nerfed into the side of him. The Audi's back in front. Gabrielli holding on there. John Walker's given up. He's parked it, unfortunately. That is unfortunate. Is it logged as contact? I don't have 66 making contact. He might be having a brew. Right, let's just have a quick rundown then as it all gets a bit frantic. Matty Zenko heading around. There's 3 cars round the corner. So we're definitely going to have some backmarker passing to be done. It's then Michael in the Ferrari holding off Nat Shirley, demoted earlier on after the contact, so we will see how that one pans out. We've lost another degree on track temperature for those of you keeping note. Lewis Robinson in the McLaren in 4th has Carl Wright for company. Some changes of position have occurred here, so that looks like a fun little battle. Carl twitching the nose, just making sure Lewis knows that he's there, but that's a good showing from an unfamiliar name, so apologies Lewis. You might have won every championship under the sun in sim racing, but not with us, so I just don't know your racing history if you watch this back. Further back then, Jan in his Ferrari is under pressure from Matt Davies. Jan on that last lap, they're both a second off the Delta. Can Matt do anything about Jan? He would like to go forward. He would like to be in 6th by the end of this lap. We've got 13 and a bit minutes left. So Matt's slung one down the inside. Jan with a beautiful cutback. Able to get on the power. Matt just running a little deep, not able to do anything with it. He's got a good run down into this following section. Gets the nose in pretty strong, but these two trading places well. Your leader now making those passes on the back markers. It's the McLaren crew we saw earlier on. Michael's got to come through as well. Nat nearly rear-ending the McLaren. Nat doing very well there not to fall off the track completely, but he's fallen out of contention of passing Michael. Michael's now got that breathing room as they get past the next of those McLarens. Nope. The next of those McLarens has slotted... that. So they passed the McLarens. So let's find out, can Lewis pass the McLarens in his McLaren? Top drivers there all losing between 1.3 and 2 seconds there. Getting past those being shown the blue flags. Lewis nearly into the back, not anticipating the slower nature of those trying to get out of the way. So then Kyle having to get past as well. Jan has lots of friends at the moment, all trying to steal his position from him. So Matt Davies unable to... Jan ran wide. Matt Davies with a cutback. It's going to be a cutback on the cutback. It's the old switcheroo now, side by side into the fast left-hander. Who is going to yield? Matt is slightly ahead. He's got his nose ahead. He has indeed got through there. That was a really nice move around the outside of Jan. Jan conscious enough to not take him out. So a lovely bit of racing there, but Jan straight into the clutches of Matt Jordan. Davies got a couple of car lengths already. Matt Jordan having to look both ahead and behind. He needs to make this move quickly if he's going to do it. Otherwise, Horath will be all over him. Horvath. I'm really sorry with the names tonight. I'll get used to them. Nose to the inside. Ferrari unable to turn in. Oh, does manage to just hold on around the outside. The McLaren looking for any gap it can find. All of this allowing Davies up the road past our back marker McLarens. We've got a car facing the wrong way. It's one of the McLarens driving the wrong way on the circuit. It's in the wall. Oh, it's in the pits. Thought we had a car parked. Zenko passed the 777. Recently tipped in the chat to be a race winner. Michael in a bit of free land. Lewis, where's Nat? Nat. Nope. How did Nat end up in the pits? That's a very broken car. 40 seconds in 1 minute replay? Just drove into the pits. I can't cancel this now, I do apologise, but the front end on that car was pretty damaged. So Nat has brought it back to the pits because it looked like that. Oh. And this is the point that we noticed, so apologies. Whilst we've been doing that, Morawski in 26th has got a stop and go 30, and Ross Parker has a drive-through. Where is Ross? Who's he battling at the moment? Oh, Ant Brown. Ant Brown looking to attack Peter Williamson. Out of the final turn, he dives to the inside trying to get a run, but it was quite an aggressive move which has ruined his run. Let's see if he can do it on the brakes down into turn 1. And Brown there up into 13th. Cool. Who else is close? Ross Parker has gone to serve his drive-through. John Walker's down to 21st, so might get past Ross. Nat Shirley's back out and circulating, having... Yeah, so Nat's going to try and salvage what he can. Good to see. Perseverance. Ah, Nat is just behind Matenko. So it's either perseverance or a vendetta. Who knows? So Zenko from Michael. Lewis Robinson. How's Jan getting on? Jan has still held off Matt Jordan. So Jan not got the raw pace at the moment, but is holding on incredibly well. He's putting the car in all the right places. We see a car leaving the pit lane to the inside for Matt Jordan. An over-rotating McLaren. Yeah, Matt Jordan just not able to get the job quite done. Jan just putting the car in all the right places. Was that a touch from the Audi? It was mightily close to a touch from the Audi. Did he? Yeah, I think he just clipped him. I think there was just a little bit of contact. So the two of them getting away with that, certainly. There's Ross Parker having served the drive through. Harrison Fulton just behind Ash Wootton. Nose to the inside. Shorter run. Not quite an overlap. We'll have an overspeed. Can we brake together? Harrison brakes later. Earlier on the power, looks like Ash is dealing with a little bit of front end damage, whereas Harrison's car, in comparison, looking rather clean. So let's check previous laps. Harrison was faster. Could be on for a pass here. Just has to line it up. Harrison with a huge amount of that second curb. It's given him a run, but nowhere to go with it. Hopefully not too detrimental on the aero being that tucked up behind the Mercedes. Now this is where you want the run. Through the left-hander, through the right-hander. We've seen Ant do it a couple of times. Getting a good exit here. Lines up the following corner. Ash creeping to the right. Just a half a car's width offset just to stop Harrison showing his nose. Harrison good speed. So this is Ash holding up or defending from Harrison. Harrison able to hold that tight line. You'd think the front end damage on the Mercedes causing that understeer. Glance up to the clock. 4 minutes remaining. This needs to resolve itself relatively soon. See, Jan is still holding off some cars further forward. So let's just see if Harrison can do anything into turn one. There's an accident for the number one car. That is Jan. There has been contact. Harrison did not get the job done, so Ash with a bit more of a gap. Jan holding on at the moment. Matt Jordan eyes in the mirrors as a rather loose looking Audi comes into play. Matt should really hold station here. He's the top AM driver. That's if we let him stay in that class, because he's been rather quick. White Rose Racing, McLaren looking for 6th place. Jan also not wanting to battle too hard. He's the top silver, so you've got the top AM fighting the top silver, with a pro wanting a couple more points overall. Won't help him in the championship though, because they're all different classes. Scott Savage had a decent race, top 10 in the silvers. He's got Dave Rose for company just in the background, but we've been watching here the Audi looking to the inside, coming from a long way back. McLaren elects not to turn in, saves both of them, so the Audi up and through. Any cutback from the McLaren? No, but cleanly done. Matt lives on still at the top of his class. And Brown's also made up another position. He is now 12th. We missed him getting past DiCarlo. Anyone else get the feeling Matt wants that position back? Scott Savage there running a little wide. Dave Rose thinking about it. The leader's on the final lap. We better give him some airtime. Sam Waldridge also making his way back up. Sam in 18th, so we did see him in 20-something. Sam Waldridge doing all right. Harrison did indeed get past Ash Wootton as well. You're seeing Ash Wootton now being pressured by Sam Waldridge. Oh dear, the 777 with a dislodged front end. A fair ride height with that front bumper. Right, where is he? Zenko battering the chicane. That's Nat Shirley just behind him. Nat Shirley with a drive-through. So Nat's been well, going for fastest lap and has fastest lap. 777 driver of the day, absolutely. But does he have... No, he doesn't. Oh, that's someone diving out the way in the background. That's fine. So Matty Zenko ahead of a trip to the stewards later, potentially. Who knows? Let's leave it open. Accident car 50. DiCarlo getting his elbows out with Peter Williamson on this final lap. Challoner! The leader's finished, but Challoner's dive bombing. Hang on. Hang on. They're not getting around that without... Yeah, cool. Zenko wins. Michael in second place. Lewis Robinson. Carl Wright. Matt Davies across the line in fifth in the end, having broken free of Jan Booker, who held off Horath. Matt Jordan. Scott Savage. Dave Rose. Oh no. Yes, you knew that was coming. Alex McGee into the final turn. That's very cool. But let's just have a look further back. Ant Brown out of the final turn. To complete his drive from the back to finish in 12th. Then we work our way down. DiCarlo. Challoner out the final turn with Williamson. Williamson holds on 0.043, so those two having a good battle on the final lap. Harrison Fulton for 16th position. Ash Wooten holds on against Sam Waldridge. Ross Parker having done a drive-through in 19th. Craig Fulton also with a trip to the pit lane. Nat Shirley, we saw some damage on that car earlier. We didn't quite see what happened, but I'm sure we will find out. John Walker, Nat Shirley, you can see the list there. Tom Lyons managed one lap of that race, so shout out to Tom. GG, all good races. Well, I hope people didn't mind the races. I hope people enjoyed them.
Green light, it was okay.
No, not green light. We're done. An eventful couple of races. A last minute stream, but hopefully enjoyable enough. Join us next week for hopefully more great racing. More drivers on the grids. I know lots more have signed up, so that'll be good to see. Pushing towards the 40s, although good luck to me keeping up with 40 cars in the helicopter. Yeah, definitely join us on comms next week, Andy. I think I'm about. Lots going on in the next few weekends. I know one of them I'm definitely away. But I'll give you the dates. I'm sure between us we'll manage it. Dave Wood, thank you for joining us. Great stream. Thank you very much. You're more than welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry you can't race and you have to be at work, but hopefully a bit of entertainment whilst you're working hard. Ant Brown just jumps into chat. GG, Tom. No, good stuff, Ant. From the back to 12th. Hope you watch it back. Hope it puts a smile on your face. Thanks, Patreons. Yes. Thank you for giving us your money. No, that's not what the PR team said. No, those that have supported us on Patreon, we saw it as a way to give back to the community and take from the community at the same time. No, that's even worse. Patreons supporting us mean that we can put the servers on and obviously keep the racing free for most, open for most. Means we can carry on doing what we're doing. We can offer incentives. If anyone has any feedback on the Patreon stuff, anything else you would like to see, anything you want adding, any other perks you want, go for it, because you're supporting us and allowing us to keep doing this. Chris Rock, great stream, Tom. No, you're more than welcome, Chris. Thank you. I do my best. I waffle over the racing and say what I see. Quick roundup of this third race of the evening. Carl Wright wins. The 777 on the podium as suspected by the fan group. No, that's been excellent. Wednesdays will be starting soon with some touring car racing on RS2. Just a bit more admin to do on that to get it running smoothly. Join us again next week for more of the same. Good night. Thank you very much.